Welcome. The lights are on for another episode 25. Aussie Max Zone. How you doing? It's December. We've made it to the last month of the year. Only 28 days to go to the end of the year, and less for Christmas. So time to start thinking about Christmas presents. Got a little iPhone 5S, 5C, iPad Retina. You know, someone would like those. Give one to me. I'd love one. All right, it's Aussie Max Zone, 3rd of December. How you going? Let's introduce the panel. We'll start off with Michael. He's ready and raring and on screen. How you doing, Michael?
Yeah, good tonight. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Now, you've just done a speed test for me to California, because I was just saying just before the show that my speed test, as soon as I get outside of Australia, it goes slow as. And as we know, Michael's on the NBN. So I got cable extreme. Normally, say to Brisbane, I'm getting about 115 down, 2.5 up. And as soon as I go out of the country, it's down is 2 and up is about 1. So it drops down to poor as. But Michael's on the NBN. What was your speed test to California?
Yeah, it was what I say, 15 down and 5 and a bit up.
Yeah, so that's a lot better. That's a lot better. You could probably look. That's probably better than most people's upload for sure. Better than anyone's, but download, but better than most people's ADSL. So the NBN must have a good backbone.
I would hope
or
it
something.
was better than ADSL. Yes.
But yes,
I'd be crying.
So that's real good. That's really good. And stuck on cable as well. Cable extreme is Jace. How you going, Jace?
Hey Glenn, hey guys. And looking out of the window here in Adelaide, not so sunny, so I'm a little bit concerned as to what the weather's going to be like for the second test, which starts here on Thursday.
Oh,
So
that's right.
Probably the only thing that will save England, I reckon, a little bit of rain.
Well, can you better quickly get out there and do a sun dance tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely.
We need sunshine. We don't want no rain. We want to smash those Poms 5-0. Smash them like we did to New Zealand through the week, eh? In the World Cup. What was it 32-2? Yeah, smash them. All right. Where are we going to start? Let's I don't know. Well, let's start at the first one here, I guess. What's happened here? Who wants to talk about this? Apple acquires social analytics firm Topsy for $200 million. Who wants to tell us what Topsy is? Because I'd like to read the actual story to find out. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'll go.
All right.
Topsy is an analytical firm for Twitter and Google Plus, but they've got the fire hose, which is really hard to get from Twitter, and gives them a lot of information. So, and the advantage is, I don't use it, but Twitter's got all of the shortened links.
Yep.
And you don't really know actually where they come from or where they're going because they've got the analytics to know that a particular link is getting a lot of traffic, for example.
Oh, righty-o.
Which a lot of people don't get, yeah.
Because as I was reading that story, you know, I'm thinking about how do they aggregate what everyone's talking about? Like I was thinking about Google Plus, and then I started reading further down where it said that this fire hose, so-called fire hose business, where apparently every tweet, every individual tweet goes through their analytical engine.
Every bit of information, yeah.
That is wild stuff.
So that would have lit up with Paul Walker's unfortunate incident on the weekend. You know, that sort of thing would just power.
Yes, that was unfortunate. I didn't actually see the full story there, but was he in some carnival or something? He was doing a few burnouts and his back end of the car hit a tree and just exploded or something. Is that pretty much?
I don't know. I thought he
the wreckage wasn't good. I don't believe he was driving. So I think he was in a Porsche with someone else driving, and wasn't a very good crash scene. So that very unfortunate news there.
Yeah, that's was pretty horrific from all reports. Had to get dental records and stuff out, so that's no good. So why is Apple acquiring the social analytics firm Topsy? What benefit is that going to bring Apple, do you reckon?
Information.
And information is king, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, so there's not much really else to that story. I guess that Apple's got a lot of money, as we'll find out in another story coming up. But there's not much to that story. How much was it? 200 million.
Cool, 200 million. That's just pocket change
That
for
is,
someone with over 100 billion in the bank.
Yeah.
I guess they're looking at building, obviously building online capability, and that's probably the one thing Apple has, and look, arguably still does struggle with. Its online capability. We've had a few goes with iCloud being the latest iteration, and it's still got a little way to go. So maybe Apple's just looking at acquiring a few firms. And actually, just on a bit of a tangent, I did see through the Twitterverse over the weekend, there was some discussion that Tim Cook mentioned that he uses Dropbox. So there was discussion again around maybe Apple wanting to require Dropbox. And I think famously, didn't Steve Jobs make an offer to them, which they rejected, or so goes the story.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
One thing with Dropbox, it does integrate very nicely with a lot of iOS apps. So
yeah,
it would be a good partner, and maybe I'm sure Apple would like to get their hands on it to thumb the nose at, because obviously they would shut it down for Android users.
They must. They must have a
Or
pretty.
it wouldn't become so useful. Yeah.
They must have a pretty. This Topsy company must have a pretty ironclad, like really wrapped up contract with Twitter for this so-called fire hose access. Because like Twitter's done in the recent past, they've just changed the way people are allowed to access their information and their API. So I suppose they must have a pretty ironclad agreement there, mustn't they?
Or maybe some back-end agreement. And look, I guess we've all been talking for some time around how Twitter monetizes. And actually, I got a really interesting one, again to digress, on Twitter, I think yesterday, which was, you have the promoted buy.
Yeah.
That comes through. So I guess, they're selling some advertising on there. So I'd have a picture of a bit of a sexy woman on there. And I could see the link was it had like XXX in the link name.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
I clicked on it just for research purposes.
As you
of
do.
course.
Yes.
But it was actually, so it was a link to not a dating site, but I don't know, a swingers or casual sex type site.
Right.
And I thought that, Twitter would be a little bit more G-rated than that. So I'm surprising, that they were taking, promotions from, from companies like that.
So after you went to the night, how was it?
Very good, thank you.
All right. Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, swing around. So look, just to finish off on that, the Topsy specialises in data from Twitter, offering tools to analyse tweets and other information to help track consumer sentiment. Its tools can decipher how often a specific term is tweeted, find an influential person on a specific subject, or measure the exposure of an event or campaign. The company, so there you go. All right, what is next? Well, while we're talking about Apple's billions, I think I did see a story here, wasn't it, about Apple and Samsung. Who wants to take that one? Sorry, that was the one with Apple sends convicted patent infringer Samsung into full crisis mode. There's talk of Samsung not being around. There's talk of the downfall. What's going on? That's how things started. Nothing like a good rumour, is there? Probably come out of the Apple headquarters, out of the spaceship. But Apple continued to climb in trading, closing at $545.96, that'd be US, and reaching a market cap of $491 billion. How much they got in the bank, Jace? $1 billion.
Over 100 billion. I stopped counting
115 or something now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just massive.
They could buy Australia.
They could too.
We could become Apple land.
They could. So there's not too much really with that. According to a report by the Z...
I think, aren't we all just a bit over all of this of Apple and Samsung going at it? I think, this has just been going on and probably will go on for some time of 100 billion this and $100 million fine here and 500 million there type of thing. And it's really all around devices now, which 4 or 5 years old. So I guess it's around getting the conviction, because I guess it sets precedence, and precedence is key in the US legal system around, okay, once the Samsung, I guess, are convicted of, infringing copyright, or plagiarism, or what they whatever they've done, that it I guess makes it easier later on to to have them convicted, or to point out similarities in your products moving forward.
But isn't
this is going back to such early products now.
Yeah, but isn't there some sort of rule in all this copyright, in the copyright world, that if you don't defend your copyright, then you can lose it? So I think that's where
right.
that's where most of this comes from, is because maybe they're going, oh geez, we've got to do another copyright suit, but if they don't do it,
there is that aspect as well. Yeah, it's all the very litigious country, I think, of the US, and I guess also, as is well discussed, their patent laws, over things that you may dream up, rather than things that actually have been prototyped or actually exist.
Yeah.
So,
and I think
stuff always going on there.
Yeah,
and with patent trial as well.
One of the craziest things of that patent thing is, when the pharmaceutical companies want to patent your DNA or a gene or something like this, like it's not theirs. Just because they've found it doesn't give them. I don't think it gives them the right to do it. But anyway, that's another story. But according to the ZNet Korea, they got a ZNet over there, haven't they? Good on them. The main topic of the upcoming meeting is crisis awareness. As many people are foretelling the downfall of Samsung is coming, that they are trying their best to prevent such a crisis from happening. Part of Samsung's plans for keeping pace with Apple, how's this? They're spending $14 billion on advertisements. But I suppose, $14 billion, that's worldwide. So that's probably, when you work it down to localities, that's probably not too bad. But on the whole.
But I like the way that equates to more than Google paid for Motorola.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, that's a crazy stat, isn't it? Yeah. That's crazy. But yes. So it says, goes on to say that so the desired result, the heavy spending doesn't always bring the desired result because of, however, blatant product placement in TV shows and film events have turned off audiences while having little impact on tarnishing Apple's image. But I don't know. What do you think, Michael, about product placement in shows and movies and stuff? Does it annoy you?
Not really. I tend to notice the Apple stuff, of course, but it's generally just sitting up in the background, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Whereas Samsung, it's definitely a bit more in your face on a lot of shows.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
well, no.
I don't know, Glenn. I think it's just blatant commercialism. All this product placement inside. TVs, movies. What next? Podcasts.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
Well, I don't know what's over my shoulder. I can't see behind me at the moment. But
no. Oh, hang on. I've got a call coming in.
I've got a call coming in on my iPhone 5S.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It was a Skype call on my iPad. Hold on a second.
My mouth's a little dry. I'll just take a sip of Coca-Cola before I answer that call.
And, but I think shows that come to mind, movies that come to mind with product placement is James Bond, Sony. Shows that come to mind is Hawaii Five-0, Windows, and Neighbours, Apple, if you're into Neighbours. But there's, look, it's everywhere. I know. I've put Neighbours up there on a pedestal, haven't I, with Hawaii Five-0 and James Bond. That's up there. But that's what happens. That's how we go. That's how it all goes. Like, I don't mind it. I think it was over the top in some shows, but yeah, like everything, everyone seems to have an Apple computer on the TV these days. I like how on the ABC they put a little sticker over the Apple logo on the back of the screen there, so no one knows, because they're not allowed to advertise. All right.
That's right.
All right. So obviously, I was going to ask Jace. He loves product placement, as we've just seen. Okay, so where are we going to go now?
But
yes.
Also, $14 billion. That's 1/35 of Apple's market cap. That's That's a lot of money.
Well, yes, it is a lot of money. 14 billion.
Yeah.
But so 14 billion. I don't know how many countries would they sell to. Let me do a little calculation on my iPhone. So on my iPhone calculator. So
I'm doing a little calculation by Casio.
scientific PB 100. Okay, so 96. Was it 14 billion? Or say, how many countries in the world would they sell to? I don't know, 143, 200? Say 200 countries. 200 divided by 14. I don't think this calculator does billions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it doesn't. It only does 140 million. Oh, well, that's stuffed. Yeah, someone pass me the Sanyo. Okay. But anyway, so look, when it whittles it all down, it's probably not too bad. It's still a lot of money. For looking at it on the bottom of the balance sheet of the company as a whole, it's a lot of money, isn't it? Or on the profit and loss. All right. What else we got here? Mavericks. Michael, what's Mavericks doing? That's charging along.
Yeah, well, everybody's downloading it, that's why everyone loves Apple. I think that's why we love Apple. It's really easy to get the upgrades, and everybody seems to just go out and get them when they can.
Yeah, well, it's free. That helps.
But the Kit Kat and all of that's free on the other side, but the carriers don't let them get it. So
no.
Yeah, just being able to have that one system must make it easier will make it easier for tech support, but for people that are developing it must make it easier to know that Mavericks is already up to 8% of the whole range already, and
well, that's 8% global. That's So Mavericks already predominant in the OS X in the use by the public. Maverick share rose from 0.84% to 2.42% of the max total global share of 7.55%. Yeah. Mountain Lion share plummeted from 3.31% to 1.85%, while Lion dipped from 1.56 to 1.34. Leopard and Snow Leopard already marginal. Platforms dropped slightly from 0.3. So they're just going out of sight, out of mind, aren't they? But yeah, look, I've updated to Mavericks, and I don't mind it. It's running all right for me. The GarageBand's a bit dodgy, but I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to the new GarageBand, but that's not Mavericks anyway. Jace, what do you think about Mavericks? You happy with it?
I've upgraded all my machines to it, and haven't had a problem. So it's all been a very seamless experience. Really, quite quick to upgrade, and been certainly more positive with the new features than anything negative with things not working or things breaking.
I think it seems not so much with the Apple, but say with the Windows machines. Like I know, look, I've got a few Windows machines here, and it seems if you leave a Windows machine off for a couple of days or a week, then when you go to turn it on, there's always updates. Before you can do anything, you've got to go through these updates all the time. But that hassle doesn't seem to be with the Mac either, so that's pretty good. All right, Jace, what have you want to talk about tonight?
Well, it has been a fairly slow news week as we still wait for the Mac Pro to be released, which, well, given we're now the 3rd of December, there isn't a lot more time left if they're hoping to, if you're hoping for one under your Christmas tree, I guess, that'd be quite a nice present. What is happening is that iPhones 5C buyers are switching from Android. So someone's out there buying iPhone 5Cs, and apparently almost half the people who are buying 5Cs are switching from an Android phone, particularly ones by Samsung and LG.
There's a good article by a T. Cook. Yeah. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, so what's happened?
It actually doesn't say how many 5Cs are selling, though. So for the 50 5Cs that they've sold.
So it looks like that, so the iPhone 5C is, people are migrating or transferring across. They're migrating across from Android platform. Why would you think that is? Is it... Look, I think, going back to that story before with Samsung, and the people saying that it's demise and all this sort of stuff, I suppose... Look, where Apple probably wins hands down is that it's Apple's got its own totally closed ecosystem, hasn't it? It's got iTunes, It's got that nutted out well. It's which has songs, it's music, videos, TV shows, all this sort of stuff. Was that a dog someone sat on? So it's it's a whole environment, isn't it? But see, well, Samsung, what have they got? They're just utilizing a free operating system. So they're utilizing what Google's raking in the money, say, from their Play Store and from their music store and from all that sort of stuff. But how does Samsung they're just selling phones? Apple's getting the best of both worlds, aren't they? Really, hardware and the
yeah, well, that's where
add-ons.
Samsung's making their money, is the margins off the phones. And so I guess especially where a lot of their volume is coming from the lower margins, what were the old candy bar or feature phones, whilst there's the volume there, the margin's not going to be great. But I guess just on that point of Samsung selling like Android, there's that cat again.
It's angry. It's an angry cat.
It's not a happy cat.
No. That wasn't even our cat, that one.
Angry cat.
Look at it. It's someone teasing it. Oh, it's
No.
There.
That was just a fight outside.
Oh,
He's
okay. All right. Yeah, where were we, Jace?
Sorry,
all right.
I was saying that. So where Samsung are using Android, they have, and they need to differentiate themselves because there's plenty of companies selling Android. So that's where they've used their TouchWiz and things like that to, create a Samsung experience. Because, well, from what I've told, that the best Android experience is getting the the Nexus handset from Google to get the true pure handset that Google or for Android that Google envisaged. Because I guess you get two people putting their own stamp on things, where you've got the handset manufacturer trying to do something to say, hey, get a HTC, get a Samsung because we've put in these extra bits and pieces. And then of course you've got the carriers jumping in there as well and disabling things, putting goodness knows what in there, and all around making the experience hard where no, I can't just go and upgrade because we need to check it and the handset manufacturer needs to go and check it. So that's obviously the benefit we get from being on Apple, and it can become painful for if you can't get the latest update for no reason and the carrier doesn't release it.
Yeah, well, that's right. And I remember when I first got my Android, I had the Samsung Galaxy S1, and honestly, and I think this is the problem, say Google might face, is then if people aren't happy with their handset like I was, like I just said, okay, I'm not happy with the Samsung handset, so I've said goodbye to the Android phone entirely, to the operating system, and came across to the Apple, and never had a problem since, mind you. But I think that people buy. You see these little phones, $30 little phones, and one of my mates bought this little $30 little phone, and he's put about 5 names in it, and then all of a sudden it says memory full. And then you got to start deleting like applications that reside on the phone's memory or something. And I said, I've opened up another 15 meg for you. That might help you put another 10 names in. And it's just things like that. Now, if he's going to buy another phone because he's had a bad experience, although it's $30, okay, so it's cheap, but although it's cheap, it's still Android. If he decides he wants a phone that works, is he going to go and buy another Android? Probably not. He's going to go and probably find something that, say, have a hunt around and talk to people and say, well, just go and get an Apple. It'll work. But anyway, I also just getting back. Yeah, sorry, Michael.
Sorry, just one other thing is, a lot of the Android stuff, like not the games things, but the music, the Google Music and Google's storage, all that sort of stuff works. They've got Apple apps for them. So you just, or if you're buying books from Amazon or all the opposition can't get into Apple, but Apple have got all the opposition on theirs. So.
The only thing that I find difficult with these iPhones is I haven't quite worked out how to print like to a non-AirPrint printer. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I've got to get.
It's easy,
Well, I've got to
but
get.
it costs money.
We got to get apps, don't you? You got to get apps.
Oh, yeah, there's one. But yeah, there's one app that I think it's called AirPrint Activator or something. It's called something else now, but
Right.
I'm just looking for it because I run it. Works great. Always has.
Yeah. Okay.
Works really well.
And so, what do you mean when you spend money? What you got to buy the app?
Yeah, like $5 or whatever it is.
Yeah, please. Well, that'd be worth it because,
But it doesn't matter what printer you got, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, Carl, can we get the name of that app?
There's also a bit of hardware you can buy. It's about $110. That'll let you print, lots of printers as well.
Yeah, that's
Goes in
probably
your network.
that's probably something I wouldn't do, but I'd have a look at an app for $5 for sure. But that, yeah. So, but just getting back to the story while you're looking at that, these stories, almost half of the people who bought an iPhone 5C in September, blah blah blah. Where does these stats come? How do they know that it's almost half? Like, how do they know what people are coming from? Is this stats from telcos or something? Saying they've switched from a Android to would telcos know who's signing up? I don't know. How do they know? Jace, you got any idea? How do they know? How do these stat companies know almost half the people who bought iPhone 5Cs have come from Android? Do you reckon? Or there must be someone must be keeping stats somewhere. But
yeah, I'm not sure what whether it's through surveys or through telco surveys, because they've certainly got some pretty comprehensive stats here, because they're talking around 40% of 5C buyers were earning less than 49,000 per year, versus roughly 20% for the 5S. 5C buyers also tend to skew older users with an average age of 38 instead of the 5S's 34. So there's some pretty detailed statistics there.
So this must be just like a survey, do you think? Or do you think it goes
I don't know as to... Apple do ask you a few questions when you activate a device. So certainly the age, I think they do ask, so Apple would know that. But, I don't... they certainly don't go asking during that activation what device you switch from or anything. So,
yeah, right, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, someone's doing a survey.
Yes. And have you thought about...
Maybe it's from the Kantar World Panel Comtech.
Yeah. So, any of these stories, if anyone wants to look further into them, they're all in the show notes. So if you want to look further in, go to the show notes, aussiemaxzone.com.au. All right. Well, speaking of product placements, how about the IT Help for You iTunes review prizes? So there we go. Haven't got a winner this week. That was short and sweet, wasn't it? If you want to win a $20 iTunes gift card, go to iTunes, write a review on the Aussie Max Zone audio or video podcast, and you could win one of those $20 gift cards from Michael and IT Help for You. IT Help u.com.au. So thanks, Michael. There you go. Okay, where are we going to go? What are you up to, Michael?
I was just looking up that, like, the handy prints is $20 is the dearest part of it. It's donationware, but it's $20.
Handy.
That's for Lion, Mountain Lion, or Mavericks.
Right.
As an example.
So does that print through your Mac, or does it print straight to the printer?
No, it prints through your Mac.
Right.
What you may be after, Glenn, is Printer Pro for iPhone. Wirelessly print documents, photos, web pages, and emails, which is $4.99 in the iTunes store. And there's also a Printer Pro Lite, which you can download for free to test whether Printer Pro will work before you pay for the working version or the paid version.
Okay. Well, have you run that, Jace, or you just search for that?
I just searched for that.
Okay, well, I'm going to have a look at that.
There's this thing called Google that you can type stuff into and it tells you stuff.
Oh, that's that new thing that's come out. Yes. Yeah, look, I have tried a couple of things. I haven't tried those two that you've mentioned, but I did try one that printed through the Mac, and I don't know, my little Mac's always on, but it's just so convoluted, the process, isn't it? And look, I suppose it's just as hard from all the other systems as well, like Android and stuff. But I mean, how easy is it just to print from wisely from a computer? Why can't it be just the same from a phone? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Michael, what else? Have you got anything else?
Apple's Find My Mac helps police arrest 2 murder suspects, which I thought was
good
because we
Yes.
don't want pricks getting away with it.
No.
Sorry.
Well, murderers.
Yeah.
How'd they do it?
What happened was a couple of months ago, a guy got shot during what they think was a bad home invasion or robbery. And at the same time, similar time that happened, another person in the same block of units got robbed, and it was his Mac. So then the guy had Find My Mac on, and when he was notified when the Mac was used, which happened to be after a couple of months, and they went and got that guy, and then they arrested 2 other guys.
Yeah, right.
By finding that Mac, and that's who they believe were the murderers.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, that's good. I hope they caught him. Yeah. But that Find My Mac. So that was that doesn't take pictures, does it? That's another bit of software that I think starts taking your photo.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's got your location and like your GPS data and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a paid service that does that. I think you're recalling, Glenn, that I can't think of what it's called, but it does. Will take pictures and do all kinds of additional tracking using the. I think it doesn't use Find My Mac. I guess it uses a similar concept, but it calls home when it comes online and does various bits and pieces as to where it is. Takes a picture of where it is, etc.
And I think it also like you can have your phone or your Mac take pictures silently. Like normally your phone goes like this when you take a picture, but if you've got this mode set or whatever and it's activated, it'll start taking silent pictures, or it'll start taking pictures when they swipe the screen or pick it up or do whatever. So look, there's apps out there that'll do all that sort of stuff, and they're pretty cool. I've just got the Find My Mac. And that's about it. But do you guys talking about these GPS things, do you guys use that Find My Friends app that's on the iPhones?
I don't really. I've only got my family listed as friends on there, and that's the only ones we've signed up. So that's only for convenience.
Yeah, I've only signed a few people up because people don't sign up. But if I get to their phone, I'll sign them up. They don't even know I'm finding them, but it's pretty good, isn't it? It's not a bad little thing. I think I've only got about 3 people on it, but it works good. It's like if you want to keep in contact or know where your friends are, and also what else is it good for is because I did it too. My wife doesn't listen to the podcast, so I can feel safe in sharing. But what I did was I signed her up. And now you can also set it to say, tell me or buzz me when she leaves a certain place. So, if I'm having a sleep at home while she's at work, I'll just go, buzz the phone when she leaves work and I'll get up. But, you can have all that sort of fun, eh? All the fun you have with with the little apps. All right.
So that other service we're talking about is called Hidden. That's a paid service, and they advertise it as helping to bring to theft protection for your Mac, iPad, and iPhone. Hidden will recover your missing device or will give you your money back.
Nice.
So you can get your $100 back when you've lost your $3,000 laptop.
Yeah.
Thanks for trying, guys.
But another thing that I've Find My Phone for, Find My Mac, or whatever you want to call it, is where we went out once and Kim thought she'd lost her phone. And she goes, I've left it somewhere at the restaurant, or I've left it, or blah, blah, blah. And so I jumped onto the Find My Mac, and I saw at a GPS that located it was at home. I went, oh, look, there it is. It's at home. So you didn't even take it out. So,
has to be here somewhere.
Yeah, put a mind at rest. So, it's good. It's good. It's a good little thing. Turn it on.
Find My Phone is actually being used to recover people's bodies after an aeroplane crash in South America.
Oh, geez. But the phone still wouldn't be going if it's all. Oh, I suppose if it just didn't get burnt or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last place it was recorded. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right on. Yeah, sweet. Okay. Now, what about your iPhone? Have you still got two, Michael?
Yeah, I haven't sent the other one back yet.
Have they asked for it? Have they asked for it?
What am I supposed to do? No, they haven't.
No, well. You don't do anything, do you? Might be a cheap
I haven't
iPhone.
even unboxed it. It's still in the sealed cardboard box it came in. Not the Apple one, but the transporting box.
Yeah, right. Nice. Okay, have we got any other little things?
It might just be a lump of clay in there if you haven't had a look.
That's right. It could
Yeah, but
be.
it's not my lump of clay because the other one's working great. Even the thumb part.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
Yeah, what else we've got the Apple hiring developers for next gen payment platform. Did we do this last week or must be?
That was last week's.
Yeah,
last week's.
That's what I thought. I thought we'd seen that one. Well, anyway, they're hiring, so check out that website. now,
Okay.
I have got a tip at the moment. So again, around gift cards on sale, the website which I've mentioned before. The good guys at the moment, if you buy two $20 iTunes cards, you get one free. So that's 33% off, which is pretty good. Normally my mark before was 25%. If you see that, grab it. 33% you don't see very often. And I've had an update on their website saying the good guys head office has contacted them and confirmed it's a national campaign available in store. So,
nice.
Yeah, I guess if you're near a good guys, it might be worth grabbing a few iTunes cards.
For Christmas presents. Great Christmas
absolutely.
presents.
great Christmas
Especially
present.
33% off.
That's all right. You could buy two and deal with three friends. That's great. You can be sorted for three people. That's my kind of sorting out. All right.
Might be next year's prizes sorted there, Glenn.
We might have to buy. Yeah, might have to buy a few. Now, Doctor Who Legacy. What is it, Michael? What's the Doctor Who Legacy?
Yours written last week's notes.
I thought it was last week's. I don't know. Well, why are they? They were on the bottom.
You just saw Doctor Who and got all excited.
I know, I did. I got all excited. Yeah. Copy paste. Well, so that was,
Okay, Glenn. So what is the Doctor Who news this week?
oh well, there's not too much, But look, I did download this Doctor Who Legacy game just because I think last week it was only pending, but now I have downloaded it. And I'll tell you, I don't like these games that you have to put coloured balls in a row, and you get a row of four and it gives you points or whatever. Because, see, I'm colourblind. I can't do it. I don't know what colours are what, so it's totally useless. So, but the app starts with the theme music, so that's good enough. I'll play that before I go to bed every night.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's enough for me. So yeah, that's all right. That's pretty good. But yeah, so it's free. It's a free game, but I think there's a few in-app purchases if you need to get more, I don't know, power or shields or some. You know how these games work. But yeah, go and have a look at that. The initial game's free, and you got to go through a lot of it. It's a tutorial. I couldn't see how you could skip the tutorial, but I suppose you got to do it once, haven't you? So you know how to play it. All right. Well, I think we're out of stories because I'm definitely not going to do any more from last week. But
what about? There's been a bit of discussion about what's Apple's next big thing because I think everyone's bored again at the moment because there's nothing to talk about. So,
next,
and the question will it be a TV? Will it be an iWatch? Are they going to do something with my cloud, which I thought was just back to my Mac? Basically, it's just having your own cloud service. It's,
well, they did buy the Microsoft Connect people, didn't they? The people that make it Connect. So would that be hinting at some sort of TV sensor?
Yeah, they're doing a TV
thing?
definitely now.
Yeah. So TV for sure.
TV for sure.
Or do you just do it at your watch? Like do the hand signals at your watch, so you don't even have to touch it.
Yeah, well, someone mentioned that, didn't they, as to because the surface of the watch is quite small, so gestures could be incorporated in putting the sensor inside the watch to make the watch more usable. So
yeah,
lots of interesting speculation for sure.
Well, from what I hear, is the new Xbox One that's out. The Connect on that is just excellent. It's just spectacular. Face recognition tells if you're smiling or frowning or whatever. You can set it so you walk in the room and it says, "Hi, Glenn." Now if Apple's got that, got control over that technology and they plant that inside a TV, I think that's going to be good. Or home automation or something like that, just simplify it all. Take all this is all out there at the moment, but that's what Apple does, isn't it? They take it and simplify it.
That's what it's all about.
So who knows? But I think, yeah, TV. I think, are we all going for a TV? You're going for a watch, Jace? Were you going for a...
What about TV watch?
Okay. Watch TV.
So it's a watch that you can watch TV on.
All right.
And you can change, and you can control it via gestures. I'll go for all three.
Yeah. All right. That's good. Well, there are our predictions. A TV, that's next. So next year, next September or earlier? Next September. We'll go for that.
Oh, yes.
All right. Well, that's about it for the... Yes. That's about it for tonight, I think. That's about it. So, oh, yes, look at that. The time is up. So the podcast is brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au. If you've got a website, blog, or whatever you got down there, you want to try and get it up on the internet or move from another host, come across athwebhosting.com.au. We'll look after you. Like so many people before you, all happy little campers. So check us out. And also IT Help for You. Thanks to those guys for the iTunes vouchers. All right, that's about it, isn't it? So don't forget Aussie Tech Heads, Thursday nights and also on iTunes. So if you want to watch them live, 7:30 Queensland at aussietechheads.com.au/live. Same address as you're watching if you're watching live now on the Mac Zone every Tuesday night live at that same address. Facebook is facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads and youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads. Find it all there. The video of the show is also on the AussieMacZone.com.au website and also on iTunes. Download it as a podcast. There you go. Good stuff. All right. Thanks, Jason. Another week done.
Absolutely, and hopefully more news next week, maybe even the Mac Pro.
Oh, wouldn't that be good? Just in time for Christmas, eh? The Black Cylindrical Pro. And thanks, Michael. You'll be into a Mac Pro. I know you'd love one.
I'd love one, yeah. But I mean, as you said at the beginning, I'm looking after, hoping Jason will look after the weather for us so we can flog the Poms.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
When's that start? Thursday. Does that start Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, good stuff. We'll be looking forward to that. All right, so thanks, guys. Thanks to the guys in the lounge. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for everyone listening to us on the podcast or watching us on the video cast or whatever you want to call it. So until next time, it's bye-bye.